So we want our hip bones higher than our knees so that we can let our skeleton support us. And it's not all muscular contraction. So find a comfortable seat. Head over your hips, hips higher than your knees. Find that place to place your hands so that your elbows are directly beneath your shoulders. Allow your eyes to close and notice what you notice. Sensations, whether it's sound, feeling in the body, the mind, thoughts, the breath. Just observe, it's all information, and gradually bring your attention to your breath. Just observe. Notice any gaps, pauses. Move towards Samavritti, the equal ratio breath. Filling in gaps and pauses. Allowing the length of the inhale to match the length of the exhale. Maybe you count, go by feel, using the beat of the heart. Whatever works best for you right now. And we'll use this practice, this technique, throughout our practice today. Aware that when gaps and pauses return, when the breath is no longer effortless, we pull the effort out of the body and back off just a little bit, just enough so that we can return to Samavritti. With that as our intention, to be mindful, aware, linking our movement with our breath, let's chant the sound of Om 3 times together to begin our practice. Take a nice deep inhale. Allowing the reverberations to break up dullness, density, creating more space, more ease. And as you're ready, bow your head, lower your hands, and allow your eyes to open. So let's begin in hands and knees. Fingers spread wide. Knees below the hips, hands beneath the shoulders. If you need a little extra space, go a little wider. Begin to move with your breath through cat-cow. Exhale, the chin draws in. Inhale, gentle back bend. The next time your chin draws in, allow the hips to sink back to the heels. Inhale, float back up. Exhale, hips to heels. Maybe bending the elbows on the way down to create more space in the side body, in the back body. And then let's alternate between hips and heels. Flip the toes, downward facing dog. Just a brief one. Inhale, back to hands and knees. Flip the toes, exhale, hips to heels. Allowing the movement to last the length of your breath. Stretching through the roots of the toes. Briefly in the calves. The next time you're in downward facing dog, go ahead, pause there. Shift the weight to one leg. Draw that hip back. Bend deeply into the other knee. Stretch the roots of the toes. Release any tension in the neck, shoulders. And when you're ready, switch sides. Draw the outer hip back. Inhale, come forward to hands and knees. Exhale, back, hips to heels. Let's go ahead then with your hips at your heels. Inhale, reach the fingertips forward. With an exhale, walk your hands over to one side. Let the armpit drop. As you find more space, maybe walk the hands over a little bit further. Then as you're ready, inhale, walk the hands back to center. Pause here for a breath. Inhale, create more space. Exhale, walk your hands to the other side. Aware to drop the armpit, sink the hips back. And when you feel even, with your inhale, walk your hands back to center and pause here. Maybe stacking the fists, stacking the hands. Release stress and tension from the neck, the shoulders. Then draw the hands back, place them beneath the shoulders, and push yourself up. Now, we're going to repeat what we did on Tuesday, if you were here with me Tuesday. We'll place the forearms on the floor, interlace the fingers, and have no daylight showing through the forearm, the wrist, the edge of the hand. Elbows are shoulder distance apart. Notice that as you release the shoulders, you can push out, hug in, and that engages the entire muscles of the shoulder girdle, all of the muscles in the shoulder girdle. From here, keep your gaze towards your knuckles. If you draw your chin in, you're initiating a forward roll. So, with that in mind, raise your knees. Exhale, navel draws in. Maybe inhale, raise the hips. Play with pushing out, hugging in. Find samavritti, find the equal ratio breath. Can you tippy toe the hips further? Maybe you pick up a leg, pick up the other leg. Do what feels best for you, allowing time to integrate, to rest, allow your nervous system to make sense of everything in a variation of child's pose. And then we'll try again. So it's really important to have all of the muscles firing in the proper order, together, working together, synergistically. Push down, hug in. Then release, and we'll play with how that feels in plank. So find the top of a push-up, shoulders back and down, hug in with the arms. As you exhale, the navel draws in. Crown reaches forward, and just hold this here. Again, maintain samavritti, equal ratio breath. And when you're ready, bend your knees, open up the shoulders, raise the hips as high as you can, then maintaining a little flex in the knees, release the heels. Notice again, you can push out through your shoulders, you can draw them in. Minimal stress and tension in the upper body. If you'd like to use your legs more, strengthen the legs, firm up the muscles, draw the quadriceps, the muscles on the front of your thigh, press them back towards the wall behind. Inhale, raise a leg. Exhale, step it forward, followed by the other one. Inhale, nice long spine, chin draws in. Exhale, fold forward. Bend into the knees, biceps catch the ears. Inhale, push through the floor, reach up, maybe a gentle back bend. Exhale, hands to your heart. Allow the eyes to close. Notice the breath. So we'll do a few rounds of Sun Salutation L, moving through lunges, forward bends, bound forward bends. So as you inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, step the right leg back, lower the right knee. Draw the left hip back. Inhale, biceps catch the ears. Reach up. Exhale, lower the hands. Step the right foot forward. Bend the knees so that the belly rests on the thighs. Interlace the fingers at the low back. Draw the knuckles up the spine. Squeeze the elbows together towards each other. Extend the arms. Next, exhale, release the hands to the hips. Bend the knees. Inhale, biceps catch the ears, root to rise. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, as the chin draws in, fold forward. Inhale, step the left leg back. Find a nice low lunge. Press into the floor with the right foot. Draw the right hip back. Find a nice back bend. Exhale, step it forward. Interlace your fingers. Release as you exhale. Inhale, press through the floor, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. 2 more times each side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward bend. Step the right leg back as you inhale. Deepening the back bend. Exhale, fold forward. Find the bind. Release, pass through, fierce. And exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Left leg steps back. Nice deep back bend. Getting a little deeper each time. Finding more space. Inhale, press through the floor, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, step the right leg back. Find your nice low lunge. Exhale, forward bend. Release. Inhale, press through the floor, and exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward bend. Step back with the left leg. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward bend. Find the bind. Release. And exhale, hands to your heart. allowing the thumbs to press on the sternum, the breastbone. Using that acupressure point to calm the nervous system, to regulate your breath, and notice what you notice. Release the hands, and now step with your feet wide, maybe about 3 feet. We're going to float the arms up, bend into the left knee. Take a nice deep inhale, reach through the crown, exhale, twist towards the left. Inhale, come back up, exhale, twist. So we're moving in and out of the pose with our breath. Bend your knee as much as you need to have your hand either come to the floor or to a block. Stacking the left shoulder over the right. Maybe a couple more times dynamically. Maybe not. Listen to your body. And then hold the pose. Play with, if your hamstrings are more open, you can externally rotate your right thigh and your left. When you're ready, inhale, come back up, lower the hands. Allow the breath to return to normal. And just notice what you notice. Then we'll do side 2. Inhale, float the arms up, bend into the right knee this time, and exhale, twist. Each side is different, so what you did on one side doesn't necessarily mean it's happening the same exact way on the other side. Maybe 1-2 more times dynamically. And then we'll hold the pose. So what I like about this pose, it opens up the hips, the hamstrings, the whole body. So now, feet hip-on distance apart. Allow your eyes to close. Your attention to move to the areas that you're creating more space, more ease. So now, this time our feet will go a little bit wider. We'll turn the right toes towards the edge of the mat. Left heel at a 45-degree angle. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, bend the front knee into Warrior 2. Inhale, back up. Check for alignment. Make sure that the knee is over the ankle and you can see the big toe. Fingertips reaching in opposite direction. And now let's hold. Gaze is just past the fingertips. Inhale, extend the right leg. Draw the right hip back. Reach forward as far as you can with that right hand. Place your hand on your shin, inside your leg, outside your leg. Doesn't matter exactly where it goes. And know that both sides will probably be different. Draw the right hip back. Allow the left hip to curl forward. Play with your arm position. You can reach over, get a nice stretch, bend the elbow. Maybe you reach back. Maybe the arm reaches behind and allows you to stack the shoulders a little bit more. Maybe you find the traditional Trikonasana, triangle pose. Allow the legs to draw towards each other. Bend into the right knee, the front knee. Brief period of time in extended side angle. Parshva Konasana. As you're ready, inhale, back up. Allow the feet to become parallel. Arms by your side. Maybe the hands come to the hips. Crown reaches up. Chin draws in as you exhale, fold forward. Allow yourself to extend through the spine. Shift the weight into the balls of the feet. Then exhale, chin draws in. Hinge at the hips, fold forward. Knowing that you can always take yourself out of your hamstrings by bending your knees. After a few breaths, hands come to the hips, stand up, and just allow yourself to stand in Tadasana, mountain pose. Aware of the shifts and changes, comparing right to left, left to right. Just aware, spaciousness, ease. Little snapshot before we move on to our other side. So now, left toes, that becomes the top of our mat. Heel bisects the back arch. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, bend into the knee. Inhale, back up. Gaze is over the fingertips. And then when you are ready, hold the pose. Aware not to lean too far in one direction or the other. Be in the present, as opposed to leaning into the future or into the past. Legs draw towards each other. Then with your next inhale, extend the left leg. The left hip is going to draw back. Reach forward, let the back hip curl forward and find triangle. Again, experiment with arm position. Traditional, not traditional. Create space in the side body. Then as you're ready, bend into the left knee. Inhale, come up. Allow the feet to be parallel. And this time, rather than wide leg forward bend, we're going to step to the top of the mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. And now, if you'd like, you can move through a vinyasa, chaturanga, cobra or upward facing dog, and exhale, down dog. Knowing that child's pose is also perfectly acceptable. Then as you're ready, step to the top of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Lower the arms. Find mountain pose, Tadasana. Have the areas of spaciousness evened out? Are they bilateral? Is it on both sides? So then, we'll come back to the long edge of our mat. Feet are going wide. We are going to play with balancing half moon. If you have a wall and you'd like to go right up against the wall, that's always a great option. If not, we'll do this together. Right toes point to the top of the mat. Left heel at a 45-degree angle. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, reach forward. Find triangle briefly. Now, the left hand comes to the left hip. Bend into the right leg. Bump the left foot forward. The hand goes out 6 to 12 inches, depending on the length of your torso. Flex the foot, float the arm up. Maybe you play with lifting the fingertips. Maybe you find the ankle and find sugar cane, or you stay here and eventually find warrior two. Sometimes you find that stability in the pose, you breathe with it, and enjoy it. Now, if it's not happening, check, are you breathing? What we tend to do also is we'll bring our leg back. Bring the leg, it's going to feel like your hip is flexed, but that's how we stand. Something to think about. Now we'll do side two. Inhale, float the arms up. Left toes, that becomes the front of your mat. Right heel, 45-degree angle. Reach forward, come into triangle. Right hand to the right hip. Bend into the left knee, bump the right foot forward. Hand comes out, lift the back foot. Think about drawing the left thigh backwards. Keep breathing. The right leg is active, the left leg is active. And as you are ready, if you'd like to try sugar cane on that side, grabbing the right ankle, perfectly acceptable. And when you're ready, step back, find warrior two, find Tadasana, notice what you notice. So now let's go ahead. Find the middle of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Feet can be parallel. They can be a little wider than your hips. If you have the flexibility in your calves when you squat down to let your knees go wide and your feet stay together, go for that. Some of us don't. So, inhale, reach up, exhale, squat back. Then let the knees go wide, reach the fingertips forward. So from the front, it looks like this. Then you're going to have the biceps catch the ears, raise the hips. Squeeze the legs on the outside of the torso. We're strengthening the low back. Then reach forward. Lower the hips. Maybe find Malasana. Hands come to prayer or not. Now, from here, place the hands, shift the weight into the balls of the feet. So your arms are inside your knees. You're going to push out with your arms, hug in with your knees. Notice how that engages your core. It goes all the way up the midline of your abdomen. Your hands are the base of an equilateral triangle. Your gaze is the top of that base. From here, shift forward, lift up, look forward, maybe pick up a foot, maybe pick up no feet, maybe just think about it. And breathe. Your balance and your breath happen in the same part of your brain. If we stop breathing, our balance falls apart. Continue to breathe. Try it again. Hands are wide. So your hands have to be as wide as they are in downward facing dog. If they're too close, we're asking too much of our body. Push out with the elbows, in with the knees, lift up, and maybe you stay here. But remember, if you tuck your chin, you will roll forward. And just think about it. Lift up one foot, lift up the other. Another option, lie down on your back, hug your knees in. Close the eyes. Find it here. Effortless breath. And then release. And find child's pose. A more restorative variation this time. Knees are wide. Big toes touch. Reach. Allow the forehead to or to your arms or hands. Place the hands beneath the shoulders. Use your inhale to come up. And then let's go ahead, lie down on our back. Feet hip bone distance apart. Arms by your side, palms face down. We'll reset the natural curves in our spine with a few rounds of dynamic bridge pose. So as you inhale, arms lift, hips lift. As you exhale, everything comes down at the same time. So if you would like, you can take your block. Next inhale, slide it beneath your low back. Support your sacrum, the downward pointing triangle. Then raise your legs one at a time. And if it doesn't feel like it's in the right spot, move it, play with it. Another option right now, legs up the wall. If it is during your cycle, ladies, you can do this option. We're releasing the hips, a little reversing the flow of gravity, changing things up. If you'd like a more active variation, roll the shoulders under so that no part of your spine touches the floor. As always, perfectly acceptable for the legs to shake, tremble, release stored tension from the nervous system. Aware that the mind's job is to think. Let it count your breath, the length of your breath. Backwards on your breath from 54 to 0. Inhale 54, exhale 54. Inhale 53, exhale 53. Breathing and counting, or simply allowing yourself to be. Allowing the lower row of teeth to move away from the upper row of teeth, the tongue to widen. That spot in your skull directly behind the eyes presses gently into the mat, into the earth, releasing the stress and tension from your face. So take the time every day to practice legs up the wall, a supported shoulder stand, some variation for 10 to 20 minutes every day in order to get the benefits in our endocrine system. We need 20 minutes a day of an inversion. Something to think about. As you are ready, release the feet to the floor. Inhale, raise the hips. Remove the block. And as you exhale, draw the hips towards the heels. We'll do a few more rounds of dynamic bridge pose to reset the natural curves in the spine. As you inhale, hips raise, arms float up, backs of your hands touch the floor overhead. As you exhale, everything comes back down simultaneously. And just because it feels good, before we move into our back bends, put your arms out at a T, palms face up. Raise the legs, cross the right leg over the left. You'll find that the full wrap, the double wrap, is easier to accomplish here when you don't have gravity and your hips working against you. Then whichever knee is on top, so right leg's on top, the right arm goes underneath, and maybe we move to the double wrap. Allow the shoulders to draw down the back. Draw the knees in towards the elbows. Keep the spine long. Press the arms together, legs together. Release when you no longer can maintain samavriti. Avoid the urge to shake out or dissipate your prana, your life force. When the energy has balanced out, we'll do side two. Left leg crosses over the right. Again, maybe the double wrap, maybe not. Left elbow beneath the right. And breathe. Press the arms together, the legs together. Release when samavriti, when that equal ratio breath is no longer accessible. Once your breathing becomes an effort, release the pose. Allow your energy to integrate. And when you're ready, flip over onto your belly. So, we'll bring an arm beneath the shoulder, directly beneath it. 45-degree angle. I am at an angle to show you. It's easier to see from this angle. Then from here, opposite arm, thumb goes down, reaches back. It presses, it grabs onto your shin or the top of your foot. Or you can take a strap and loop it around the lower leg, the tibia. From here, press the leg back, and that will lift up your chest. Navel draws in. So belly back bends are calming to the nervous system. Release. Maybe rest the forehead on the palms or on the backs of the hands. Then when you're ready for side two, lift up, elbows beneath your shoulder. Arm is perpendicular to your body. Bend the opposite leg. Thumb is down, arm reaches back. With an inhale, exhale, navel draws in. Engage the core to protect your low back. Then with your next inhale, press the shin back, lift up. Find samavritti. This leg always shakes for me on this. I've had multiple surgeries on this knee, but never fails to shake when I do it alone. So I let it shake. Let it release whatever it needs to. And just notice. And then when you're ready, release. So now, we'll put both legs together. So release the chest towards the floor, bend the knees, flex the feet, reach back, squeeze the knees towards each other. We want them hip bone distance, but we want to avoid letting the knees go wider than the hips. If this is not accessible, but it was when you did one leg at a time, return to one leg at a time. Next, inhale, press the feet back. Chin can draw in. Notice what you notice. And then release. And if you did one leg at a time, do the other side. Take the time. And if we did two legs, guess what? We're doing it again. So inhale, shoulders draw back, flex the feet, grab onto the shins or the top of the feet. Navel draws in as you exhale. Inhale, press the shins into the hands, lift the chest. Find that equal ratio breath. Release. Let one ear come to the floor. Arms by the side, palms face up. Switch sides. Inhale, bring your head back to center. Place the hands beneath the shoulders. push yourself up. And let's find a seated twist. Aware that if you'd like to take your hamstrings out of it, all you have to do, raise your hips. So let's take right leg over the left, flex the foot, inhale, sit up nice and tall. Crease of the left elbow finds the tibia, the shin bone. Inhale, sit up, reach up with the right arm. Exhale, twist. Now, it's really nice to be able to close your eyes and pay attention to the sensation rather than the external visuals. So inhale, sit tall, exhale, navel draws in, allow yourself to twist a little deeper. Keep the left foot active. The right foot presses into the earth. Maintain samavritti, that equal ratio breath. The head can gaze or point, the chin points over the right shoulder. Inhale, come back to center, unwind. Again, avoid the urge to just shake it out. Let the energy dissipate. Let it integrate. So now we'll cross the left ankle, or the left leg over the right. Flex the right foot. Inhale, sit up tall. Can you make contact with both ischial tuberosities, those sit bones? As your right elbow crease comes to the left shin, inhale, reach up, exhale, twist towards the left. Again, minimal weight on the back hand. Both legs are active. The twist happens at the abdomen. Remembering that energetics of twists are samana, integrative. We want to be able to make sense, to digest not only our food and utilize it, but everything that's going on in the world around us. And in that same respect, holding a twist too long can be provocative. It can be irritating. There is usually a fine line in the balance. And as you feel even, as you are ready, inhale, come back to center, unwind, and go ahead, lie down on your back. Hug the knees into the chest. Few rounds of Apanasana. Exhale, knees come in. Inhale, they move away from the chest. The whole time, your hands are on the knees. Maybe happy baby, so the thighs come wider than the ribs. Shins are perpendicular to the floor. You can grab onto the ankles, the outside edges of the feet. Rock side to side a little. Maybe the crown and the tailbone reach in opposition. Also a nice stretch to do when you're seated in a chair. Obviously, it doesn't look like this, but It feels just as nice. Then release when you are ready. Extend the legs. Again, aware as you internally rotate, do the big toes touch? If they do, move your legs farther apart. Palms face up, wherever your arms feel most comfortable. Scan your body. Does it need support? And then allow your body to rest. Take a few deep breaths on inhale. Fill the belly, the ribs. Feel the collarbones lift. As you exhale, allow everything to happen in reverse. Inhale, belly expand, ribs expand, collarbones lift. Exhale, everything happens in reverse. And release the attention to your breath. Allow the legs to feel heavy, supported by the floor. Hips free, unburdened. Abdomen spacious. Chest and shoulders unburdened. Nothing to hold on to. Nothing to support. Arms free. Comfortably warm. The whole spine long. Scalp resting on the skull. Forehead, cheeks, expressionless. All the muscles around the eyes relax, release. Lower jaw releases. Tongue widens. Throat open. Collarbones spread. Rest here. Energy balancing. Restoring. Blockages removed. Become aware of your breath. Feel the effortless ingoing and outgoing breath. Become aware of your body lying on the floor. The quality of the air as it touches your skin. Begin to lengthen the inhale, lengthen the exhale. And then invite small movements back. Maybe you brush the thumbs, rub the thumbs over the fingers, stretch the fingers, move them around, stretch and wiggle the toes. And then stretch the whole body. Breathing in deeply. Eventually, roll onto your right side. Hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice deep hug. Feeling gratitude and appreciation for taking the time to practice, to take care of you. Then, ideally, keeping your eyes closed, use the strength of both arms to push yourself up and find a comfortable seat. Return to your seat, your asana. And find your breath. Notice how easily samavritti returns. And become aware of the stillness in the body, in the mind. Space between thoughts, the space within the body. And basking, relishing that space that exists within you. Find the stability, the steadiness, the support within you. And notice that as you become more established in the stability, the steadiness, become aware of the ease that naturally flows through you. Then let's bring our palms together in Anjali Mudra in front of our heart. We'll chant the sound of Om one time in unison to complete our practice. Take a nice deep inhale. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice. I honor that light, that divinity in you. Namaste. Thank you.